Morning. Here is my breakfast this morning. I have about a cup of orange and purple sweet potatoes, a handful, this is about a half a cup of blueberries, and I have 2 poached eggs. And this is my breakfast. Probably just gonna have some water. I had some decaf earlier. Hey guys, it is Sunday afternoon. I thought I'd have a little talk with you. I'm trying to process some things, and I have family in and out of town this week, so I'm going to do my best to get some videos up, but it's going to be kind of difficult. But I just wanted to let you know where we were at, what we're doing, that we're going to be in and out this week. But anyway, so I wanted to talk to you about the idea of a struggle bus, that whole concept. I had to look into that, and the term struggle bus came about 2006 or so, started circulating by word of mouth. And that concept always bothered me, and it still bothers me right now. And I'm not judging anybody who uses it. That's just totally fine. If you want to use it, that's great. But for me, my own self, I choose not to use it because for me it's too finite. It's just, I don't want to identify with that actually being a place or a vehicle for me to get to destination. No one ever got, it's kind of funny, but for the term struggle bus indicates that you're actually going somewhere. But if you're on the struggle bus, I believe the struggle bus never goes anywhere. The struggle bus has no tires. And what's amazing is that a bus has multiple seats, right? The struggle bus is always full of people. I don't want to be one of those people on the struggle bus. I was listening to a fitness guru months ago. I don't remember who it was, but he was talking about how he accomplished so much, and he got to his goal. He went on a mission, got to his goal, and during the course of the conversation, they had asked, what different things he tried before he actually got to the place where he was successful. And one of the things that had come up was that he actually tried Weight Watchers at one time, and he said, but he had to leave it, and he wasn't getting to where he needed to. And they said, well, why not? And he said, well, they have a good program as far as, it's pretty good as far as them really wanting you to make nutritious choices and things like that. But he said something that really stuck with me. And he said, I couldn't deal with the wow factor, and so I had to move on. And I thought, what in the world is the wow factor, right? And what he was talking about was the struggle bus mindset. Couldn't deal with it because he said, I have a mission. He didn't mean to put anybody down. I don't think that was his purpose. But he was saying, I wanted to reach my goal, and I had my eye on the prize, and I could not deal with that. And I thought that was really interesting, Another thing that has occurred to me about this mindset, because, one of my favorite verses in the Bible talks about as a man thinks, so is he, right? What we think about becomes what we talk about. What we talk about becomes what we do. What we do becomes who we are and makes our reality. And so we need to be thinking positive thoughts, not negative thoughts, and putting those into practice. Everybody is going to struggle at some time or another. We're all going to deal with anxiety, right? But the thing is to not let the anxiety become your vehicle that drives you to your next destination, because that will be the struggle bus. If you let anxiety drive you, you can't do that. And so, one thing I was listening to, I found Dr. Russ Harris. I don't know if you're familiar with him or not, but he was speaking about the struggle switch and turning it off, basically. How do you turn that off? Once it's on, your anxiety can turn on as well. Then you have anxiety about having anxiety because your beliefs and your actions aren't lining up, that's the cognitive dissonance there, and that's going to produce anxiety. So you're going to have anxiety about having anxiety. Now you have guilt about having anxiety because he was saying, now you feel guilty because, oh heck, look at me, I'm having a hard time with this, and there's so many other terrible problems in the world, and I'm just concerned about this. I mean, it could raise all kinds of other thoughts. And he said, well, how do you turn that switch off? Well, how you turn that switch off is by doing wholesome activities that are something else. Do something else that's going to allow the anxiety to move. Not necessarily lessen all the time, but basically the concept is if you can get your anxiety to move, then eventually you can come out of it somehow. So by doing something else, right? And so I thought that was thinking outside of that box. And I think very often thinking outside of yourself and your own situation and thinking about, someone else doing something whole, maybe spending time with family or, doing something that you really love that's maybe, if you can help somebody else, I think that's probably ideal because it takes you outside of yourself and out of your own situation. I think that a health journey, because they call it a journey because that's exactly what it is. It's not a destination. Good health is the journey that's going to be lifelong. It is not the destination. It's not one day I'm going to hit this weight and I'm going to be happy. One day I'm going to hit this level of health and then I'm going to be happy. No, it's never going to end. It is a journey, and you cannot get there by the struggle bus. You cannot. I was talking to my mother yesterday, and my mother's dealt with cancer in the past, with breast cancer, and has been a victor over breast cancer. But yesterday she told me it was back. And so my mom is somebody, she's a very strong woman. She is always outside of herself. She has a big heart, and she is always helping somebody else. Completely. And I've never, ever, ever, and again, I'm not putting anybody else down if they use this term, but my mother has never used the term struggle bus, nor does she, I think, believe in that concept. And now, of all times, I think, she cannot afford to think of that concept. There is no time for the struggle bus. There is only time for success in achieving her goal of good health. And I'm going to try to help her in any way I can. But we have to get out of that struggle bus mindset and realize that we need a better vehicle to get us where we're going to be, right? I tried out the word struggle bus the other day, and I hated the way it came out of my mouth. I hated the way that it made me feel, because to me it just felt so like that was finite, like the struggle bus. I don't want it to be in my vocabulary as a vehicle that's going to be in my driveway that I'm going to get in again and that I'm going to deal with. I don't want to give it that amount of recognition that I'm actually going to name it as something in my life. It makes me think about, what is the term? I don't remember what the term is. There's an actual term that the Japanese people have in Japan for overworking and dying at your desk. People have overworked themselves to the point that they actually die at their desk while they're working, and that actually has a title, to die in that manner. There's also a term for people who pass away alone. And they've actually named these things, and it's very sad to me, because I'm thinking, we should be, instead of naming them and giving them a place that's permanent, we should be changing the things that are negative, that we don't want to be part of our lives. And I don't want the word struggle bus to be an object or a vehicle or something that is in my life. And I really think that, I'm saddened that this athlete did not stay on Weight Watchers or didn't stay to find success through Weight Watchers, as many people have, because of the concept of the struggle bus, and he moved on to what he thought was more successful elsewhere. And I think that, I don't know, I think that we need to let go of some concepts, and that's one that I think we just need to let the wind take it and replace it with positivity if we can, and just move forward. So we make a mistake, or we make a decision that is probably not the best one that we want to make, so change it. So do something else better the next time, but don't give it a permanent spot. Don't give the struggle bus a place in your driveway. Don't do it. There's just no room for it. Anyway, that being said, I'm still going to encourage anybody I hear say those words. I'm not going to be coming down on anybody. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying, I just want to encourage you to just move on and find a better vehicle in your driveway, because the struggle bus does not have any wheels. It's not going to go anywhere. There's way too many seats, and you don't want to be one of 100. You want to be that one in a million, right? So get off the struggle bus, get something with a little more pizzazz. And yeah, go get it. All right, guys, I will see you next time. I love you a lot. Take care. Bye.